What's up, fellas? Welcome back to the Be the Torch podcast. I am Cletus Coffey, and my goodness, grateful to have you here. If you have not been to our other episodes, if this is your first one, hey, what's up? Welcome. And the reason I say that is because we're getting a lot more downloads these days, both on our YouTube channel and then, of course, on our podcast, Be the Torch podcast. And so thus, I feel desire to kind of introduce myself again, because many of you are seeing this and seeing myself and the work that we're doing for the very first time. So what's up and welcome. And I'll just lead with, let's keep this momentum going. So if you are a fan of this, meaning you like the content, you're benefiting from it, you're learning it, let's not keep it a secret. Like, let's get it out there so we can help serve more men just like you and I. Because if you're like me, you found yourself as a single father, as an entrepreneur, as a man, isolated in all those areas. And when you put them all together, man, we're a pretty lonely, isolated group. So let's stick together and help each other out. Okay, this episode here is something that, man, I continue to see over and over again. And it's no secret, man. If you are a business owner and that's something that or even a high-level executive, like where you're showing up and leading teams to be a leader. And what happens far too often is business owners they're grinding, they're taking on the weight of their employees, their customers, the sales, the growth, the operations. There's so much that they put onto themselves, and it's exhausting. And then you got to come home and you got to cook the meals, you got to get the kids' homework ready, maybe you got to cart them off to activities. Like, man, there is just so much you already have on your plate, not even talking about business. And then you start to layer all that on, and that grind, that hustle is going to wear you out. If you're not there yet, you're on your way there, unless you're getting in front of it. What I find is it's a real gut punch for guys. It's doing something that most men are not able to really grasp. And what your business is doing, okay, hear me out. What your business is doing, it's reflecting back to you, like how you feel about yourself, how you take care of yourself, how you are, your energy, your self-talk. Your business is reflecting back to it. So if it is somewhat chaotic, if it is negative, if it is you're feeling some toxicity in your culture, if you're not hiring the right people, it's very easy to start pointing fingers and say, well, it's the people that are working for me. It's their fault, or it's my customer's fault, or it's the economy's fault, or whatever. You continue to point fingers at something outside of you. Your business is reflecting back. It's a mirror. It's reflecting back to you. Just like your relationships, for example, reflect back to you the way you are thinking, where you are at, the frequency in which you are vibing at. So we're going to get into the really importance of focusing in on this number one asset, which is you. And I truly believe that a business is going to grow to the level at which you grow. So your business hits a plateau, you've hit a plateau. If your business is down, it's in a valley, you're struggling for revenue, maybe you're not making enough profits, everyone else is getting paid, but you are down in a valley in your personal life. It is a reflection of you. So let's flip it so that we can, instead of look at the business and say, okay, we got to grow, we have to tidy up our culture, we need to get operations right. Yes, those are all important, and we can get to all those things. However, we got to start with you. All the X's and O's of it, that's the easy part. Shoot, man. I mean, look, we have those types of trainings all through our Be the Torch Academy and all of our programs. Yes, we'll help you with those types of things, but that is a secondary part of it. The X's and O's, I mean, you can look on Google and shoot, ChatGPT can help you with that. What it's not going to help you with is you growing and developing yourself. So the emphasis of this episode is really to bring to light that alignment. If you're out of alignment, your business is going to be out of alignment. It's not going to be able to grow to the level that you want it to, because you're not growing. Your own personal limitations are limiting your business. Period. End of story. So here's what we're going to do. let's break down the lesson. Really, the three things that I want to focus on to help you better align yourself with your business so that your business can grow. Your marketing is more effective. Your sales are going to come more easy and more effortlessly. Your people are going to be locked in and working for you, and your culture is going to be thriving. So step number one in this is shifting the mindset. And it is, whether you call it a money mindset, whether it's your business mindset, money's not going to fix anything. Money's not going to fix that alignment. So sure, you can go ahead, and you've probably heard me talk about this before, you can go ahead and rip down that path of trying to make more money. However, everything else is going to anchor you down, such as you. You and all that makes up your life and your lifestyle is preventing your business from really breaking free and growing. And or your business is snapping back. And you'll see that with you're losing good people, maybe your revenue's down, your profits, you're not paying yourself enough. Those type of things are going to snap back and really cause a lot of pain and suffering. So money, where most men think if I just grind more and make more sales, man, that's not running a business. That's being a hustler. That's being, in the analogy of sports, that's being the athlete on the field when the owner in the owner's box is up there watching the coach and the management and the players do their thing. You need to be the owner in the owner's box, not the player on the field, hustling, blood, sweat, and tears. You got to be up there at the owner's box, just being more strategic and thinking a bit differently about your business and creating a lifestyle by design, not a business and then, let me figure out how to fit my life into it. So it's a mindset shift. For some reason, I'm struggling with that word. Showing up aligned as you, grounded in who you really are, your true, authentic self. So that's step number one. That's a shift. Number two, the personal culture framework. We do not live in silos. To think that what goes on at home is not going to affect your business is being completely blinded to reality. To think that what's going on with your body does not affect your business is blinded to reality. To think about how you're showing up as a parent doesn't affect your business is blinding. You're blinded to it. You're misaligned because, again, we do not live in silos. It's all one. So how you're showing up at home is going to reflect how you're showing up to your team, to your culture. How you are showing up for yourself, meaning how are you taking care of yourself? Are you investing in yourself? You're the number one asset in your business. Did you hear that? You are the number one asset in your business. If you're not investing in you, your health, your mental health, your physical health, your health at home and your relationships, so you can have one, or finding healthy relationships with your children and being present and available for them, you are the number one asset. All those things need to be aligned. You need to be growing and expanding at the same time. Your business, your health, your relationships, your mindset, your emotional intelligence, all that. Yet that's not what we're taught. That's not what we've seen. So, as I said in the very beginning, your business is a mirror. It's mirroring back to you where you are struggling, where you are misaligned, where your communication and your emotional intelligence is non-existent or misaligned. And so thus your results in your business are reflecting back to it, reflecting you back to you what's really going on for you. So if you're looking for how do I fix this? People used to tell me this all the time. Cletus, you're in your own way. I don't know what the hell that meant. What do you mean I'm in my own way? I'm ready to go. I'm out. Let's go. I'm out of my own way. But I wasn't realizing that the things that were going on for me outside were reflecting back to me what was going on the inside. I just didn't realize that. I didn't realize those were lessons that I needed to heed and learn and then go inward. So one of my first business collapsed, and it was very easy to point to the economy because it was right during our Great Recession. Of course, obvious, it was simple, and everyone believed me. It was a lie. Yes, I understand there are factors beyond my control that did impact my business. However, I was not a very good businessman. I don't know what the heck I was doing. And I sold everyone on a bag of goods, especially people that invested in me and my company, that I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. And I was scared. And that showed up in my business. What do you know? Wasn't making the the money that I needed to make to keep the lights on, to keep people employed, to pay myself, to help feed my growing family. And it was easy to point outside of me when in fact it was all about me. I just didn't know that. That was being in my own way. So your business is a mirror. It's reflecting back to you what lessons you need to be focusing on and where you need to be growing for you personally. It's also a thermostat. Your energy that you bring to the table, you bring to your team, to your culture, the tone, the speed at which you move, the vision that you have. It all begins with your own frequency. If you're showing up in fear, they're going to feel that, and they're going to be showing up in fear. If you're showing up in some sort of toxic level of narcissism or controlling, which is all fear-based stuff, that's how they're going to operate from. But if you show up with a level of, and I should also include their pride. Pride's a tough one that most entrepreneurs struggle with. Your pride is in the way. It's in the way. In fact, you check it at the door. No more being proud, because proud is scoreboard based, which you can't control. So it's time to stop being proud. Proud of people, proud of yourself, proud of the business. No. That's in the way. So it's you showing up with a higher frequency, love, for example, which would be the highest, but peace and ease and collaboration, those higher levels of frequency. And what's going to happen? Your business is going to reflect that back to you. The type of customers that you're looking for are going to start to come your way. That'll align with that. So are your employees. They're either going to shift or realize that, or you're going to realize that they're not a good fit. They don't align with that level of vision and frequency. So you got to check your frequency at which you're at. Are you vibing low? If so, you're going to be attracting those types of negative situations, people into your business, or are you vibing at a higher frequency? And then I alluded to this earlier, but I just wanted, it's one that is a lot of men don't realize. Actually, it's two of them. It's your relationships and your health. So in this personal culture framework, we want to everything be growing and expanding at the same time. Now, that may be at different paces. You may be in better health physically than you are financially, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're paying attention to them. You're investing in those areas because they're going to help support one another. But the one that men oftentimes get tripped up on are their relationships. They're married or in a relationship that's toxic, that is unhealthy, and they are making it unhealthy and they don't realize it. And so they want to blame their partner. It's her fault. She's the one that's causing me chaos. She's constantly yelling at me and shaming me, and all those things may be true. She's contributing to it in some capacity. But my man, you are responsible for that. And you're bringing that toxicity to the office space, to your culture. And your people are going to feel it. The business is going to feel it, and it's going to respond accordingly. I mean, you can't, look, here's the thing. I've been in a relationship where I have a keynote talk to go do. I've been prepping for weeks, and I'm about to go out that door. And in a former relationship I was in, she was so angry at me because either it wasn't paying me enough or not paying me at all, because in the very beginning I was doing free talks just to cut my teeth and make some contacts and get some video. And she would be so angry at me, yelling and screaming at me that I was wasting my time, or angry at me because of something with our child. And I would go and I would deliver that sucker, man. Somehow I would block all that out, and yet I didn't. Meaning I thought I had stuffed it down. I thought it wasn't there, but there's no way that I was able to take that type of toxic negative energy and come show up and be my true, authentic, alive, energetic, passionate self. I could fake it, and some people will buy it, but they weren't buying me. Thus, I wasn't getting the follow-up invitations to come to get paid speaking gigs. or consulting opportunities or training opportunities with these companies because they couldn't quite put their finger on it. But there was something off with this guy, and he was great. His speech was amazing, but for some reason, it just wasn't an opportunity for them to bring me in. So what's going on at home, you may think you may be able to compartmentalize that and put it away, but man, it's following you. It's following you to the office. It's following you to your sales meetings. It's following you to your team meetings. So you have to be conscious and aware of what's going on and who you're surrounding yourself with and their energy that's being put onto you and leaking your power. If you go ahead and listen to our previous episode about leaking your power, you'll get more into learning more about that. But you need to understand that that's a big one that oftentimes men forget about. Okay, so what we have there, we have shifting your mindset, developing that personal culture, and then as a single dad, you may be, in fact, here's an example. I have a client who's just killing it in money, killing it in revenue, and oftentimes success blinds the reality and the truth about what's going on, because in his mind, he's super successful. His business is thriving. He's making a lot of money. However, he's not around much to see his kids. He's divorced. His relationship didn't work out. He's struggling in finding a new relationship because he has not healed that part of him. But on the outside, everyone's thinking to him, you're super successful. You got a nice car. You got a nice house. You got opportunity to go out and hang with a bunch of chicks, and you're all this things that especially men coming out of divorce are praised for, when man, he's hiding. And through the process of diving in, we realized that that lie was him trying to create a vision of someone that he thought people wanted him to be. He thought he needed to be the super successful, have the fancy things so that people would like him and that women would go on dates with him and want to be around him or have sex with him, or he would have the validation from his peers, and he was living a lie. And he, like many other men, were looking to things outside of themselves to help fix that, help heal that part of him. If I just make more money, then that'll take care of me being able to then spend more time with my kids, or then I'll be able to take a little bit of a break and actually exercise and take care of my body. So to get him out of that is we had to go inward, and everything he was experiencing out was a reflection of him. So going out and healing him first. And in doing so, and in this process of doing so, obviously him becoming more aligned to him learning to master that part of him, really allowed him to take a step back from the day-to-day business, being that athlete hustling blood, sweat, and tears, and actually be the owner, which he liked more doing. He liked doing that more versus being in the trenches every single day, being able to delegate and finally hire the right people that were in alignment with him versus his old grind it out, hustle, you better sell or die type of mentality just to generate revenue. And people didn't want to be around that, or if they were, that they were of that same lower energy frequency, and customers weren't buying, or customers were calling in complaining. They were getting returns. People want their money back, those type of things. So he was able to get up into the owner's box and start thinking it from an ownership standpoint. And by doing so, it freed up a lot of his time so he could invest more in other things that were important. That lifestyle by design. The business is just one element of you. Now, the business is a reflection of you, so you got to make sure that you being the number one asset, that you're right. And when you're right, your business is going to be right. So it's like moth to a flame, man. It's like magnetism. Once you shift and you start giving off this energy, this frequency, you're going to start bringing back the right people, the right opportunities, and the things that are in alignment with what you want and the vision that you have for your lifestyle first. Then the business begins to evolve. So, like most topics and most themes around this, there's a lot of myths and mistakes that trip dudes up. One of them, which I've explained a couple times already, which is maybe I just need to hustle harder. Dude, that's being the athlete. If you want to go and be in the trenches, then just go do that. Don't have a business. Go be an employee, get in the trenches, carry a book of business, and go hustle. But that's not what you're here for. That's not what you're looking for. You want the freedom. You want the flexibility. You want the fulfillment. You want the fun in your life. And being that athlete on the field, that hustler, that's not going to give you ultimately what you seek and what you want. So the other one myth is that my personal life isn't going to affect my business. Think we've hit that one to a bloody pulp, brother. It does tremendously. There is no how you're showing up in your personal life. It's how you're showing up in your business, and it's reflecting back to you who you are and how you're showing up. The other thing that's a big one is I'm doing this for my kids, or I'm doing it for my employees. Got to keep them employed. I care about their families, and I get it. And there's this old, and it goes back to the beginning of time of man. This self-sacrifice. And whether you experience it through religions or through stories or through examples of the past of we must be self-sacrificial for others. It's time to get out of that mentality, because you are no good to others if you are sacrificing you in the process. This is a myth. You're no good to your employees or to your customers if you're not right. You're no good to your kids if you're not right. You have to do you first. And then you can show up authentically, having mastered this part of you, so you can be the father and the owner in the owner's box, the leader that these people need. And you can be the man in the relationship that she needs. Either that relationship you're in or the one that you're looking for. If you're remarried, post-divorce, awesome. What a great time to become the man that she needs. If you're not there yet and you're out dating, you're out looking for someone, it's time for you to become the man to attract, to be capable of attracting a woman that is in a line from a healed place that you are healing from. You can't do that when you are self-sacrificing for everyone else. I'm doing it for her. I'm doing it for my relationship. Happy wife, happy life type of thing. No. It does not work that way. In fact, I keep bringing this up, but I have another episode that I did on that myth of happy wife, happy life. You don't want that. You got to do you first. And by doing that, by loving you first, by investing in you, your business is going to thrive. Your relationships are going to thrive. Your relationship with your kids are going to thrive. Your health is going to be able to thrive. So there's a lot of myths that stand behind that. Okay, a couple takeaways. Number one, master your morning, fellas. If you've been following my content, you've probably seen some of my stuff online about mastering your morning. It's just, you got to get yourself right before you step in. I can't tell you how many guys will show up at the office loaded up on coffee, and then they get the crash and coffee and low energy coming from getting angry in their relationship, or maybe yelling at their kids on the way to school about going to class or doing their homework, or how come they didn't work hard enough in sports, and then you show up at the office with that energy behind you, and then you give that to your staff. And so you got to get yourself right in the morning. So if you do need some resources there, if you go to cletuscoffee.com/morning, you get access to my Master Morning cheat sheet, which can help support you in that. Act, analyze, adjust. Another takeaway, big one. We take massive action. You think about it from a sports perspective. First half, we take massive action. Halftime, we analyze that action. And then second half, we make adjustments. Or halfway through the season, we analyze the first half, and we took action, we analyzed it, then we make adjustments for the second half of the season. Same thing with you. Take a look at your month, take a look at your week, take a look at your day. Just do a quick audit on yourself, your energy, and see where you're growing and where you have more growth to do. The last one is presence. It's time for you to invest in present, not in the past, not in your ex and the challenges in co-parenting that she's given you, or the shame and the guilt that you feel from leaving her because you had an affair, and you the pain around that, and how you got to show up for the kids. Like, look, it's all a story now, man. That's in the past. But you got to get in the present moment so you can tap into you, the real you. The real you doesn't exist in the past. It's all right now. And yes, we want to tap into your future self. Start bringing the feelings that you want into the present moment as well. So present moment ultimately is where you want to live and be. So if this hits home, as I mentioned, there's a couple of resources to help support you. First and foremost is the Master Your Morning Challenge. If you go to cletuscoffee.com/morning, you get access to the cheat sheet, which ultimately can get you access to the challenge as well. But also, we're getting ready to launch our next cohort in the Be the Torch Academy. This is a 12-week intensive. It is an accountability mentoring group of men. I obviously am guiding it, and I bring in some of my expert colleagues to help train on some really important pieces of business and marketing and sales. But most importantly, we get all into self-mastery and becoming your true, authentic self, becoming the man capable of having a thriving business that doesn't require him to grind in it every single day, to become the man, that woman that you seek, the woman of your dreams, that soulmate that's out there looking for you, that you're actually able to draw her into your life. And then being the father, that present and available father that your children need, because it's all about your legacy. So if you go to bethetorch.com/academy waitlist, bethetorch.com/academy waitlist, jump on our waitlist, get your name on there, because when I open up the doors, you'll be the first to be notified that doors are open. And then when they're open, you obviously get the first crack at getting one of the limited seats. They do go fast, and I will open up the public after I notify my waitlist, so you can be first in line to get one of those seats and get into the Be the Torch Academy. So there you have it, guys. Off into the rest of your day. I encourage you to heed some of this insight. Your business is mirroring back to you the work that you need to do on yourself. Take the time, invest in you. You are the biggest asset in your business. It's time to invest in that asset, which means investing in yourself. Be the torch, brother.